Hey guys, welcome to today's video. We were going to finally be reviewing the Morphe x Jeffree Star collaboration for brushes and sponges. We created this amazing everyday look with them. Can you see? I have my hair up today. I've had a bunch of coffee, so everything in this video is kind of everywhere. But it was a fun time. I'm not going to give any spoilers. If you want to know how well they performed, if I liked them, if I plan on using them again. Ooh. Suspense. If you want to see how the brushes perform for me, just keep watching. Talk about them. Alright, first we have the JS1 Size Queen brush. Synthetic, it says, and I'm reading this off of the Morphe website on my phone. It says, bigger is totally better, especially when it comes to your foundation brush. The rounded, large, and in-charge head will help you blend, buff, and cover in all the right places. Pores, never met her. Selfie, here you come. Alright, I love this already. You see the Morphe x Jeffree, trying to figure, there it is, logo. It's not very dense, it's flimsy. We know I had an issue with my Ferro brush being flimsy. I don't know how well it's going to work for foundation. We're going to give it a try. I love the way it feels in your hand. This diamond shape actually feels really comfortable because you can just sit on the little grooves or you can hold just this part. I don't know. We're going to give her a try. We're going to try her for foundation. The JS2 Point Blank Precision brush is also a synthetic bristle brush. You hear me throwing all the plastic stuff in the floor. Feels amazing. We like big stuff and we cannot lie. Jeffree. The longer bristles fit into every contour of your face and deliver a smooth application of your fave powder products. Want to go full on? Who doesn't? This babe is perf for all over setting action. Yeah, well, we're going to set today. We'll use it to set the face. I'm a face demon. JS3 Iconic Contour Brush. So we're going to do a little... I don't know if we should do a little cream today. It is a fluffy little rounded brush. Next, it's also synthetic. We have the JS4 Fly High brush, which is a natural hair, really long, really tapered, and it is a highlighting brush. I'm about it. We're definitely using that one. JS5, a crease brush. Let's see, Crease Queen brush. Get all the details in a new crease online. The longer bristles allow you to place color in all the right spots and buff out to perfection. Yes, ma'am. The JS6, which is a natural hair brush. Do what you will with this brush. There are no rules, but it's perfect for carving out chiseled eye looks and knows how to drop bold, opaque color in the blink of an eye. Just saying. Y'all, I've had so much coffee I can't see straight. We went to IHOP and I had an entire coffee thing to myself, and then we went and got frappes, and I'm seeing into the future. Then you've got JS7, which is Double Trouble Synthetic Brush. I think this feels really nice. My eyebrows are already on, so we're not going to try that for that. It says, this double-ended dream knows how to bring the drama. Use the angled end for drawing on brows with your favorite cream products, or use with Conceal to brighten up that brow highlight. Turn to the spoily end to brush out harsh brow lines, leaving you with soft, natural arch. And then you get the Starstruck bag. I told y'all I already opened this, so I could get out the big sponge and the little sponge up here and dampen them. And it is just the regular Morphe sponge, just in pink. Highlight and Contour Beauty Sponge. We all know and love our OG beauty sponge, but it totally needed a pink moment. What Jeffree wants, Jeffree gets. Of course he does. It's Jeffree Star. The chiseled edge delivers the ultimate control for contouring, highlighting, and baking. Just add water and give it a good squeeze. I've already done that. It is, I mean, it's nice. It's a nice sponge. It's a very nice sponge. And then you get 2 minis with it, which start out this little size, and it gets it doesn't quite double, but it gets pretty big. We're going to use it for concealer. I dropped my bag. Going in with Tarte Shape Tape in the shade Fair. To try these out, I'm using a palette that I know works every time I use it. There's never an issue. That would be the Jaclyn Hill Morphe palette. I've never had a real problem with this palette. Now, yes, my typical issue of not holding pigment happens with every palette. Drugstore, high-end, anything. Okay, love this. It's super soft, super squishy. I'm beating the crap out of my face with it because I'm used to my Real Techniques, and this is like nice and flimsy and mushier. Feels good. Moving on. We're going to take the JS5. Y'all know how I am with packaging and stuff. I don't even want to use these because they're so beautiful. Okay, just dipping her into my Jaclyn Hill palette. Oh god, that picks up a lot. In Silk Cream. I've noticed a lot when I'm filming, I've got to start working on keeping my mouth closed, because boy, I like and that's not a cute look. That's really nice. This is really nice. It's really soft, and you can get right up in there and lay down some pigment. Okay, dipping into Buns in the same Jaclyn Hill palette. It picks up a lot of pigment. These brushes will be restocked. They are out of stock. The day that I ordered them, they sold out of stock within the first hour and a half. Okay, my only complaint so far, and this isn't really a complaint, the brush is amazing. It's that I can't, like with my normal blending brush, let me show you the difference. Like, tapered, rounded, and more flat. So I can literally just press it on the edge and like fluff like that. This one is more along the lines of like, you can't really fluff with the tip because it's very pointed. But I do love it for like setting it down. I just feel like it's not very, it's a little too tapered. Okay, I think this is really nice. Really nice, really soft. I'm just being picky now about my blending. Even though I'm not going anywhere, I'm getting ready to do homework. I'm going to take the JS6 and I'm going to dip into Chip. Just on the edge, and pack that on the outer corner. Okay, my next thing that I'm going to complain about these brushes for the eyes. Just the eye ones. The other ones, the pink is fine. I feel like because I use a lot of bright colors, they're going to get stained really easy. And even browns are going to stain them. But, I mean, you can't have everything. Right? I wish I could. I'm going in with Little Lady on that same one I used to deepen the outer corner. And I'm just putting that on the inner portion of my eyelid. This is not really a tutorial, this is a brush review. So, I'm just using shades like I would on a normal day. On a glam day, I would pack this on with my finger. On a normal day, I just want a little bit of shimmer to break up the mattes, and I put it on with a brush. Okay, so far, I love the brushes. I think they're awesome. Let's cover this guy up. For foundation today, we're doing something a little different because I really want to try this foundation brush. I normally, how about we do half the face with the brush and half the face with a sponge? Sponge side, brush side. And we'll see which one is better. But anyway, since we're using a brush, I'm actually just going to take my Milani Conceal and Perfect in Porcelain. This pains me. Oh, she's thick. Oh, shoot. I did way too many pumps of that. Okay. Let's stipple and then we'll blend. You know, I forgot entirely about one side and then the other. I won't lie though, I mean it looks pretty. Okay, so I thought we were going to have a situation where the brush side had less coverage, but actually I think it's about the same. It's been a while since I used this foundation. I'm just going to take the sponge and kind of go over it, make sure it's not, there's no brush streaks or anything. If you like putting your foundation on with a brush, which like I said, I don't hate it, but I do prefer a more densely packed brush than this. It just kind of flops over. Normally I would have taken like this kind of a brush and stippled it and then kind of buffed. I always still go over with a sponge, so that's kind of just where we're at. Let's go over all of them at the end, how we feel about them. I think we're going to do the same thing over here. We're going to sponge, contour brush, the JS3. And we're just going to blend. Okay, I know I said I was going to wait to review them until the end, but can you tell that this side has less pigment? The sponge soaked up a little bit of it. Then this side, like this side is more opaque. The jawline is more, and this is the brush side. The jawline has more color to it. And I just kind of used like a stamping and a buffing. And I feel like this side looks more blended as well as has more pigment. Okay, I didn't think I was going to like this brush. I'm going to go ahead and tell you about this brush. But you know what, we're just going to go ahead and talk about all of them. I didn't think I was going to like this brush, and here's why. Because just like the foundation brush, it seems relatively flimsy. But if you stipple where you want your product and then you blend, that's beautiful. It's just beautiful. Okay, we're going to conceal. I would say nothing crazy, but I already put so much on under over there. And we're going to use the little sponge. The other side, this is the contour side, we're going to use the clean side. Okay, let's set, because we're only going to do under the eyes. Taking our JS2, the fluffy powder brush, this doesn't need to last all day, so we're not baking, we're just setting the face. Let's dip into highlight using the highlighting brush, and then I'm going to do the rest of my face off camera. I'm going into the Milani Hypnotic Lights highlighter in Luster Light, and just taking our highlighting brush. That picked up nothing. This might not be the best highlight. It's almost a baked highlight, so it is kind of tough even for my normal brushes. We'll go into our Ulta face palette and pick up some highlight. Oh yeah, there we go. Okay, can y'all see that? I hope so. I said we weren't going to, but I'm going to dip into my brow pomade and fill in what got covered up. I'm going to do mascara, blush, maybe some eyeliner off camera, maybe some more contour, and I will be right back. All I did off camera was pop on a pink lippy in honor of Jeffree. I added a little bronzer, contoured the nose, put some blush on, liner, mascara, lower lash line, and here I am. Anyway, let's get on with it. JS1 Fit. I feel like it's a good foundation brush. It did the job. There's nothing special about it. Normally I would like a denser brush. This one's quite flimsy, but it's okay. I wouldn't use as thick of a foundation as I used, but I would totally use this again. I think it's a really great foundation brush. I think it does exactly what you need it to. Gets the job done and gets it done beautifully. I would recommend going back over it with a sponge to make sure everything is even and not streaky. This little guy works magic. I am in love with the way it blended out my contour. I wonder if it would work good with powdered products as far as contour goes. I really love the handle on these and how they fit, because you can be out here and have less control, more blending ability, and then you can get close. You can get close and like stipple. So I like to stipple my contour out and then blend. So I stipple close, blend far, because you want it to look natural and in your hair and just super blended. This JS3, I love. I love this brush. We kind of went out of order because I wanted to get the cream brushes out of the way. This powder brush, not good for putting the powder on per se, unless you're like setting the whole face. Good for sweeping away bake, just kind of press it in and flick it out. Also good for blending everything together. I used it after I put on blush and just kind of like melted things together, just in this kind of emotion with a little bit of this, just melting it together. Making sure it's nice and blended. Good brush. My only disappointment in this whole kit so far is the highlight brush. I feel like it was really hard to pick up product, even on one that's even on a highlight that wasn't pressed really hard. It was hard for me to get product on it and then get it onto my face. So I didn't like that. But that's just a preference thing. This is my normal highlighting brush, and we'll do a size comparison. I like a big highlighting brush. This one's little, this one's big. Moving right along. JS5, the blender brush. It's a little too tapered for my taste. I think it does blend beautifully, but you gotta kind of finagle it. Like for my eye type, I've got to lay it on its side. I've got to try to get it in there just like this. I gotta press and kind of swirl, because I do not have deep sockets like Jeffree, so it doesn't work that well for me. But I'm going to continue to use it, try it out, see what works for me, because these brushes weren't really that cheap. So I'm going to use them. I wonder how well it would work with a color, like a bright color. I'm just looking at it to see if I'm losing my mind, or if it really did a good job and I'm just being picky. But I just feel like it would have done well to be a little less tapered. Like, it's really pointy, and I feel like it would have done well to be slightly less, slightly more round. Okay, moving on. JS6. I liked this brush. I like this a lot. It reminds me a lot of my Luxie brush. Let me find it. Okay, she's dirty from Husband Does My Makeup, but it reminds me a lot of the shape of my Luxie brush, which is really good for me to pack on shadows and to be able to slightly blend with them. Like with this, I can pack it in the crease, and then I can use the very end to just blend that edge and make sure it's nice and blended, and that's the same thing I do in my Luxie. So this brush by far has been my second favorite. The contour one was my favorite. This is my second favorite. I used it to go back in and touch up my brows. They were already kind of filled in, so I didn't really get a good feel for it. The spoolie is super nice. I really love how, like, the bristles aren't rough, but it's firm. So you can really separate your hairs and make sure everything's nice and smooth and blended. Now, what I did use of this for my pomade, you get a really nice, like, precise line with this. And you can make, like, good little flicky brush strokes. I enjoyed these. I feel like I got my money's worth. I feel like this was a good buy. I'm just going to have to find what works well for me, if that makes sense. Let's talk about the sponges. The sponges are reasonably priced, in my opinion. I feel like these soaked up my products. Especially when I use this for my contour. Like, I don't like this side of my face as much today as I like this side. This side just looks very, and this is the side I used all Jeffree brushes on. This is the Morphe sponge side, which this is just the OG Morphe sponge with pink. I'm gonna try it again since now it's been used, and we'll see. But so far, this side's my favorite. This is my good side today, and normally it's this side's my good side. But you can see it looks patchy and stuff. Like, it's darker here, light, dark. There's some patchiness here. Not a biggest fan of this. We're gonna give it another go tomorrow. We're gonna give it another go tomorrow in our just normal routine before we get up and do our stuff. But I feel like it was well worth it. The sponges, not so much. I'd rather just use a Real Technique sponge. That's just me. I've always used Real Technique sponges. That's what gets the job done for me. Alright, so that was my review of the Morphe brushes. That's what I feel about them. I like them. The brushes are totally worth it. The sponges, if you like Morphe sponges, do it. I like Real Techniques. That's just my opinion. Am I going to use it? Absolutely, because my sponge is disgusting. It's time for a new one. So, with that being said, I'm going to end this video. I hope that you liked this review. I know it's kind of been a little all over the place. My brain is scattered. I've had so much coffee. I can literally see into next week. Send help. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please remember to like, subscribe, share, and comment down below. We will see you next time.